are Grand Slam champions!
Thanks for sticking with us, Rocket League fans. We are hopefully getting ourselves into game number one very, very shortly for the JBL Quantum Grand Slam of 2023, a PAX Australia of 2023. That's right, we're here at the PAX Arena, bringing you guys all the best Rocket League ANZ has to offer. Conky still stayed by my side. I'm surprised he didn't leave me in that break, to be perfectly honest, but we should be jumping into the game between Power and Ground Zero very, very shortly.
I was dancing, we were reminiscing about some good things the entire way through, but now look, it's going to be a great day. It always is. That's the thing, right? You know, you get the call up for this event, and you know it's going to be a really, really exciting one. Rocket League, so much fun. These teams, so fantastic. JBL, such a great supporter, alongside ESL, obviously, for the event, and the PAX Arena is the place to be.
Yeah, it definitely is, especially for the entirety of the day of the JBL Quantum Grand Slam. We should be jumping into this upper final. Those of you who weren't paying attention to the start of the show, I'll do a little bit of a reiteration. This is a best of 7. Winner of this will be waiting in the grand final at the end of today. Hopefully try and hoist that trophy and not have to go through the lower bracket and get a full bracket reset as well. So this is going to be a good time for us to be able to jump into this first upper bracket best of 7 between the defending champs in Power and the returning competitors in Ground Zero as well.
Absolutely. Two teams that are certainly deserving of the title here. But as we mentioned, right, that opening game from the Quantum Grand Slam last year, 4-3 in favour of Power before ultimately going on to clean sweep in the grand final 4-0 over Ground Zero. But there is a little bit of a difference in the rosters here, right? Obviously, we've got Super Sub Baz coming in for Super Locky for Ground Zero. Banana Head on the side of Power. No longer a sub, part of that namestay since Amphis left a little while ago. So yeah, a really, really exciting bunch of rosters, and I think it's going to be a crack start to the day, Luke.
Yeah, it should definitely be a really, really good start for us, and obviously there's been some delays here on stage, so it's trying to keep the boys all in the mental, keep everybody locked in as well. Seems like everybody's still having a whole lot of fun up on the stage as well. I think that's going to be the best part about today is these guys, yes, they are competing for, you know, the prize money, for the trophy, what have you. It is all about having fun here on the stage throughout the entirety of today here at PAX Australia. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's jump into game number 1.
Let's
Power
go.
at Ground Zero.
We are here! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rocket League. Starting off strong, starting off fresh, and it looks like we've actually already got a score. 12 seconds, Luke.
Hey, I mean, that's Rocket League, baby. Sometimes it's 12 seconds, sometimes it's 5 minutes to get the first goal. And it looks like this time around it's going to be Fever opening it up for Power. We're expecting these guys to be able to do a whole lot of damage to the entirety of this tournament. Starting out nice and hot with a 1-0 scoreline.
Straight out of the kickoff, absolute hotness, and a demo immediately as well. So they're just going to be spinning around for the moment. Torsos giving a little bit of a pushback, but Fever, firm eye on the prize.
Yeah, Fever's just trying to go back in that defensive position right now. We can already see Ground Zero trying to press in towards the goal, try and get themselves a bit of a response. Send it back all the way to Kaka. Nice little demo, though, from Banana Head to really be able to keep a lot of that pressure going away from the Baz, though. On goal, doesn't get it done. Nice save once again from the Power Boys.
Banana's been keeping it well. Shadow defense from Kaka, though, looking pretty good. He's going to be able to control that back out for now. They will be keeping a firm eye on it. Fiver will be able to pop up. Fever keeps him at bay for a little while, and it's another very, very close defense from Kaka there.
Yeah, it was a nice little bump from Fever. Almost got themselves into the goals once again, but Banana Head's going to try his best in the corner, get some aerial dribbling going as well. Set it back up for the center here onto Torsos. He's going to pop that back up for Fever. Wants to try and get the flip reset. Doesn't get it done. Has to send it back towards goal. And Ground Zero still on the D here. Wants to try and get the ball off this backboard and send it back into the offensive half.
Kaka has had so much control for the last little while. Fever trying to get it off the side again, but it doesn't quite work out. So Fiver back in position. Runs out of boost, so he's going to have to fall off for now. Banana Head, though, it's just Kaka. He's all over the map at the moment.
He got himself a nice little 50 there, and now they're actually being able to put on a bit of an offensive for Ground Zero. They did have that two-man defense for such a long time, but now with Banana Head going up into the air, misses out on the flip reset as well. Ball goes up into goal. Baz, though, nice little save.
My word, that was right at the money there. So, so close. Baz doing it all there. And now he's being able to take it back forward, but Banana Head with control.
You can see all these offensive bumps coming in from Power. They're being really, really aggressive when it comes towards goal. It's going to be so hard for Ground Zero to keep saving these goals, but without all too much speed on the ball, it's going to be a relatively easy affair for them to just keep it out. Try and respond to what they can. Back in the center field, though, Torsos tried his best to do some aerial dribbling, but now with Banana Head in the defensive half, just gets rid of that ball for now. Finally, we're seeing a bit more of this offensive coming in from Ground Zero. They've done a beautiful job at defending. Now they get reaping the rewards.
Okay, trying to get it centered up there, but it is going to be Fever to bring it back. Still not being able to quite find the money for the time being. Fiver looking for it, but we'll just sit down. Fever sets it back, and Torsos is going to be able to defend for a little while as well. So they recoup, and now send it back into the forward.
Such an awkward ball when they've just scrubbed off all the speed from it. Just kind of floats around, doesn't really hit the ground just yet. Now Baz is able to get the pitch off the wall, goes in, Fiber off the top crossbar. And they equal it up 1-1 here. So it took them a little bit of time, but Ground Zero finally found their footing.
The trade-off makes it work. Very, very happy with that one. Straight off the backboard and in. Gets the rebound nicely. And that is a happy position to be found. So 1-1 on the scoreline. And there's a cheeky little pause going on right now, Luke.
Yeah, it seems like we could be having some issues once again here on the board, but so far 1-1. Interesting affair. Power, they came out the blocks nice and fast, swinging pretty hard up against Ground Zero, but they did a really, really good job. They just put a lot of emphasis on that D, really trying to make sure that a lot of the aggressive players coming in from Power weren't being able to pay off. Going for this very, very aggressive strategy with a whole lot of bumps on the defenders, really just trying to get themselves out of the goal position. Some good stuff coming in from Baz as well. The super subs really starting to step up today here for Ground Zero. Back into the game. We're over the halfway point right now, Conky. With Ty's scored. We're looking towards the next goal potentially being the winner.
Banana Head again, though, just getting up all in the grill of these members of Ground Zero. Really, really looking nice right now. But Baz, just shadow defense, keep it a bit of a watch.
Again, a lot of this aerial in the midfield. Think who's going to be the one that's going to take the first bit of aggressive posture. You see there was a lot of people in the defensive half there for Ground Zero, but Fiber, he's the first one. Opportunity on goal though, and they will be able to get the second goal.
Back to back.
Fiber just being in that goal square just made it so easy for him, especially when Torsos misses the bump on the corner. With nobody left at home, Ground Zero will secure a second goal here in game number 1.
Now, Formal, he tells me that Fiber is apparently a great defender.
Yep.
But he's the one scoring right now. So you've got to absolutely love to see that. Really, really doing well. A couple of pauses coming through. Looks like a little bit of banter between the two teams back and forth. But look, all I'm going to say is that's a really, really great response from Ground Zero, right?
Yep.
You know, to be looking at the start of this best of 7 first game underway. And Power had a goal within 12 seconds, right? Straight out of kickoff, straight into the goals. So it's been a very, very nice response to come out from Ground Zero so far. They're getting hyped up. They're getting fired in. And they need that early momentum.
Yeah, I think it's really, really good that Ground Zero will be able to weather the storm, right? As you said, first 12 seconds, Power will be able to get themselves the first goal. They were going on basically an all-out offensive, really just trying to be in the faces of Ground Zero. But they're able to weather the storm. They're able to hold off. They didn't let one freebie in. They got themselves a reward getting that goal back after a few minutes, and now they get another reward with Fiber getting the second. And it seems like Ground Zero might be the ones on the front foot this time around. Let's see if Power can respond, though. Kaka, nice little bit of defense there as well. Torsos tried to get a nice little center pass in towards his buddy in Banana Head. Now able to get it off the corner as well. Baz goes for a little bit of a aerial off the roof. Doesn't get it connected. Now the ball is back in their defensive half.
Straight over the head of Kaka. Fiber, though, will pick it up. A cheeky little demo there as well, so it does give a little bit of an opening, but no, the defense is there. Fever trying to recollect, but it's Fiber all over it again. He has been doing absolutely everything so far in this matchup, Luke. Center ball does get sent across. Fever will be able to pull it off the backboard once more.
And Fever's going to try his best here off the roof. Does miss out on the dribble. Doesn't get the second touch. So that means now the ball back in their defensive half. And Ground Zero look for the third.
Fever again!
What a save.
The defense, but Fiber looks to send it back in. It doesn't quite meet the mark. These guys are doing it all right now. Just trying to clinch as best as possible.
Exactly. They've got 50 seconds left to hold on here for Ground Zero. If they get a third goal, this potentially could be all she wrote for game number 1. Fiber now in the back defensive half. Kaka just sends it back up into the roof. All the Ground Zero boys are back here just trying to hold on to this ball. Torsos goes up into the air. Oh! Banana Head has to leave it. That means we're tied up once again at 2-2. Nice little deft touch coming in from Torsos. Goes up into the air, beats both defenders. So see you later to Kaka. And now we're tied up at 2-2 with only, 30 seconds left to go.
I'm up and about. First game of the morning, 2-2, 30 seconds to go. Overtime on the cards here. Got to see what happens at kickoff. Straight in, the duel, the juke, the position Torsos does manage to clear. Banana Head is over the top, but he just misses the mark. Booster regathered, pushing around. Kaka getting that aerial, will be able to hit it in the middle, but again, the defense is strong. Looking really good from Torsos here.
Yeah, the Power Boys really be able to just get this ball out. Now they can go on the counter offensive. Ground Zero looking to try and keep this ball in motion. I imagine both teams are more than happy to get this ball to ground when it hits zero. But Power, they're going to send this ball back, control it in the defensive half, make sure there's no sneaky little goal at the zero mark, and everyone wants to see this ball touch the ground.
Absolutely, not wanting to deal with that at all. The zero time. Going to go straight into overtime. It will be that first goal scored, everyone. So game number 1 lays with the line.
Let's see who's going to be able to crack the code first, get the advantage in this first best of 7. Baz goes up, tries to make a play. Doesn't really get it there on the Fever. Torsos comes back in. Nice little pass towards Banana Head. They go towards goal, but Baz will clear it out once again.
Fever lining up the prize. Banana Head once again has been fantastic on this defense as well, trying to gather a little bit of extra control, but just wants to sit in the back, but it's going to be Fiver! Fiver getting it done. 3 for 3. The hat trick from the big man here, Luke. And he's going to close out the first map here for Ground Zero.
Yeah, all individual effort there from Fiver as well. Pinches it off the wall, gets the dribble into the midfield, and just beats out the last remaining defender from Power. In overtime, Ground Zero get it done here. 3-2 scoreline and go up 1-0 in this best of 7.
I love this guy. He's so happy. He's been cheering. He's had the smile on since he sat that bum in the seat here in the PAX Arena right now. The JBL Quantum Grand Slam looking hot so far. But yeah, that is a massive start. 3-peat in the beginning of it. It's got to give you such great momentum going into the rest of the series.
Yeah, 100%, especially if you're a player like Fiver as well, right? Like, you've got a lot of this mechanical skill, and as soon as you start getting that confidence in yourself, you're going to be seeing some wacky stuff come out of this guy throughout the entirety of today. And we already touched on it at the top of the show. Power, they're the big dogs, right? Like, these guys are relatively, kind of undefeated when it comes to ANZ. They are the big players when it comes to Rocket League in Australia. And if Ground Zero come here onto land with the JBL Quantum Grand Slam, and they take them down in that first series, that's going to give them massive confidence to try and take out the whole thing.
Absolutely. They don't want to repeat it last year. They want to win this one. They want to get into that upper bracket, into the grand final, not deal with the bracket reset at all, and not have to face any of these other teams. Just wait and sit pretty inside that grand final. But for now, it's just going to open up super strong here for Ground Zero. And yeah, again, Fiver, you've got to be cheering.
Yeah, 100%, and especially just be able to give everybody that extra bit of hype, that extra bit of energy, and that extra bit of confidence as well, right? Winning this first game in the overtime. You can see Fiver's really just trying to amp up the crowd, get everybody on their side, and really just trying to win it out from there on. But Power, they did a really, really good job to be able to pull back that second goal to at least send it towards the overtime, and this is where these guys are starting to look very, very strong. As we can see a few crowd reactions as well. Fiver is more than happy with that game number 1. So let's jump into game number 2 here. Then Ground Zero and Power. Ground Zero get off to a 2-0 start here. It's going to be a very, very hard lead to try and chase down.
Absolutely. 12 seconds was the first score. Are we going to see something similar? It looks like, oh, so close. Baz just narrowly missing the mark there, but it's going to be Torsos who sends his way back towards the goal. Banana Head, once more, being that great defender, sends it forward.
Yeah, it seems like Ground Zero want to pick off where they left off in that game number 1. Fiver just being the man up in the front lines. Wants to try and break some ankles, wants to try and score some solo goals once again. But Power, they're just trying to get this ball out. They're trying to get some control themselves, see if they can get some passing strung together, see if they can try and beat these defenders off Ground Zero. But Banana Head almost gets it done, but Baz at the final hour gets the save, and now with the counter-attack, they almost get the connection there, Conky.
It's the sub, man. He keeps doing it, being that reliability, the insurance policy for the big man. Torsos in the aerial is able to center, but it's Fiver this time. Again, not just a goal scorer, a defender of strength to strength.
Yeah, it seems like they may kind of change these positions around with the super sub, but no! That was such a close save. Kaka just went a little bit too far.
Maybe a miscomm.
And now we will see Power opening up with the first goal. You can see Kaka, he comes off the wall. He tries to save as best as he can, but being in that awkward position, it is very, very hard to try and position yourself to at least dig that ball out. But now,
rent-free inside that goal.
It's a little unfortunate. And seeing Power once again just opening up the scoring. But game 1 is anything to go by. Conky, Ground Zero more than happy to score more goals themselves.
Absolutely. Sending it forward again. Banana Head just trying to center it, get it into position. Fiver able to flip it forward, gets the flip reset. The dribble is good as well, but Banana Head once more remains in place, able to keep it straight, getting it back into that forward for Power. They've still got the advantage, but they've got to hold on for a little while longer, and it's a bump out. Kaka, a score back in Ground Zero. Vengeance.
That was a very good looking solo goal. You see this, Kaka sends it forward, gets a little bump onto Fever.
Gets rid of him.
And it just falls into the goals. So Kaka wasn't able to save the first one, scores the second. And now we're tied once again here, Conky. We already said that these two teams are going to be very, very evenly matched. And so far, it is starting to feel like Ground Zero getting their confidence going forward. The Power, they've got plenty of tricks left up their sleeves.
It's just that little treat that you want at the weekend of PAX, right? A game that's so hotly competitive straight out of the gates. And that's exactly what we're getting, exactly what we deserve. And it's Banana Head. Again, you know, I continue sort of mentioning how he's been sitting at the back, being that defender, but not only is he centering the ball, getting it out of their defense, he's also able to score the goals, and he gets that one relatively simply. Torsos was there, doesn't need it.
Yeah, it was a nice little centering play there for Banana Head to just be able to tap that one into goals. Kaka, as well as Fiber, were in the area, but with Torsos hovering around, it's very, very hard to put yourself in the right position. Now, Fever is going to chip it up into the midfield, off the roof, the double tap. Fever off the backboard though is able to clear the ball out, so Ground Zero are able to hold on, not lose their heads just yet. It's only a 1-goal lead. With plenty of time left in this game to be able to even it back up. Kaka goes back on the offensive. Ground Zero, Baz wants to try and score that one, but Fiber now, the last line of defense, at least keeps the ball in their offensive half. Means they can just try and regroup and get their defense going.
Fiber is absolutely everywhere right now, but Baz is going to be the one to be able to somewhat bring it back. Banana Head looking for the defense. Ooh. Tries to chip it in, but it doesn't quite occur, and there it is! Fiber just doing a little bit of damage control there, allowing for the goal to be available. But it is, in the end, going to go the way of Torsos. Can't quite clear it. That is going to be an even score line again. 3-1. Ground Zero still having to do it a lot more.
Yeah, you can just see with the amount of players that were there for Power, they just put 3-man forward. They really wanted to go on an all-out offensive there, and not really much you can do if you're Ground Zero. Another chip back in. A deft little touch from Fever, and this score is starting to blow out here, Conky.
Yeah, decimation these last few seconds.
This is really what happens sometimes in Rocket League, right? You can feel really, really tight, and then just 1-2 quick goals, and the scoreline can really start to get away from you. Still a decent amount of time, though, for Ground Zero to come back. And with a 3-goal deficit, it is going to be a long ride if they want to even this one out. Yeah, look how quickly we've seen some of these scores. You know, a 2-minute 30 time up means there's a lot of time to go with, but it's again Banana Head trying to control that one. They're keeping it very, very aerial. Sending it back, trying to hold that control. Fiber looking to push it through, looking to pressure. Torsos is there. Try and get the defense. Kaka as well, trying to center it back up, but they can't quite get it to where they want it right now. Fiber sending it the wrong way as well. Kaka losing a little bit of control, and Torsos on the way, no! Can't quite do it. Fever defends once more. Power continue their tear. Yeah, Fever with the last line of defense there. Torsos does miss his assignment, but Fever's still there, and this is a chip over the top of Torsos. Wasn't directly on goal, but Fiber though wants to send it into the top corner, doesn't get it done. They're still on the all-out offensive to Ground Zero, but Power, they hold on.
When you think it's going to happen, it just doesn't quite work out for them. Fiber has to try go over and above the top here as well. Kaka is looking to center it. Baz is there. Will it be able to go? No. Off the backboard, Fiber gets the chip, but it doesn't quite work out as well. Kaka trying to send it. Look at this Power just defending their honor the entire way, but they go forward. Baz re-picks up, but it's Banana Head once more. This guy is a monster.
All 6 players around the ball for the last 5-10 seconds. Means now as soon as this ball gets sent out, it's going to be all battle stations for both these two teams. Ground Zero, they get the offensive going though. Kaka goes off the roof. Baz is here on the backboard. Chips all the way up here. Very hard ball to try and get off the ground. And Fiber wants to try and reconnect with his teammates, but doesn't get it done. And once again, Power will clear this ball.
1 minute left, Luke. Not that much more to get done. Trying their hardest. 3 scores would be a massive, massive result. Baz does try to get it centered again, but it's once more Banana Head who just has this focus, has this control, sends it forward, looks to center it. Fever is there, but it doesn't quite connect.
Yeah, not that much boost left here for the Power Boys as well, so it's hard for them to keep this offensive going, but with the 3-goal lead, very easy for them to just send back into defense mode and try and hold on to this 3-goal lead that they do have. Now they're going to send the ball forward. Fever, they get the nice little bump from Torsos, but it's not there in time. Banana Head, can you close it out? No, he cannot, and Ground Zero will hold on. They still have so much time to try and score these 3 goals, and the pinch off the corner, the defenders, they still get lucky, and Power will not allow another goal to be scored, and within the last 10 seconds, this is all but tied up. And this is a very, very good game number 2 here from Power. They started off strong with an early goal, and they turned it into 4 very, very quickly here, Conky, and they will even up the series as soon as this ball touches the ground, and Ground Zero They really wanted to try and hold on, but with 2 quick goals coming in from Power, it's hard to chase that down.
Pure comfort from Power, right, in that one. You know, they didn't look any sort of pressure sort of amounting to them. It looked like Ground Zero in the previous one was going all off that hype, all off that momentum that they kind of carried. But this time around, Power just seemed to be in the driver's seat a lot of the time. Very, very confident on their defense as well. And again, I just kept mentioning his name, Banana Head, the man previously from Pioneers, newest addition to this roster, just seems to be so experienced and so level-headed in this defensive position.
Yeah, it really does seem like that Power have kind of found their footing in this game number 2, right? You know, they started off nice and hot with that very quick 12-second goal in game number 1, but then it was all kind of Ground Zero from there on out. But coming into this, they got themselves some very quick goals themselves. They were going on massive offensive, seeing 3 men in towards the goal square, just trying to make sure that they're putting this pressure on the Ground Zero, who have been doing a fantastic job at defending a lot of these balls. But when there's so many shots on goal, at one point, something's not going to go your way, and then the ball will go into the back of the net.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, well, look, as you sort of mentioned, right, this is Rocket League. This is the way it goes. You know, it's a very, very fast-paced game. There's so many times to turn it around. A blowout in one game doesn't mean that there's going to be anything different into the second. It's still 1-1. It's a best of 7. There is still plenty of the day left as well. And the winner of this one, obviously, they do go to that grand final. They do secure the big share of the bag, but there is still another game to go after that.
Yeah, 100%. There's still plenty of Rocket League to play in the day for both of these 2 teams here. And as we can see, some reactions from the Power boys. We've got the high fives going all around here. Get ourselves into game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. See who's going to start out. Power have got the opening goal in both of these 2 games here, Conky.
They have, yeah.
If history repeats itself, we could see Power once again get themselves the opener.
Crew loads in, ready for that kickoff. It's been a very, very aggressive sort of start. No fakes, no sends. Everyone just keeping their eyes very much on the prize here as we do line up for game number 3.
We're just waiting on one remaining player from Power, it seems.
There
now
it is.
Everybody's in. Countdown's on. Game
Action
number 3 is ready. Let's see who starts out with the opening goal. Your Ground Zero, you're definitely going to try and break the trend right now. See if you can get the opener. See if you can try and control the pace of this game. And it's Baz wants to try and get it done. The second touch, and Baz, the super sub, opens up in game number 3.
There is a crowd that is ready for Ground Zero as well. You can hear that cheer every single time. But Baz, again, like this is the thing. Surely you would be feeling a level of pressure coming into this as a sub, but maybe not. Maybe you're coming in fresh. Maybe you're coming in calm. And he has been doing really, really good work so far.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of 2 sides of the same coin, right? You can either choose to let it get to you, or you can choose to play as free as you'd like. At the end of the day, you're just a
here
super
for
sub.
a good time.
Yeah. Here to play some Rocket League, here to vibe out with the boys. And once again, it was a nice little offensive shot coming in from Ground Zero, but now they have to be careful of the counter-offensive. Fiver's the one that's getting it goals, doesn't get it done. Didn't have the movement, that ball rocketed past him. And now we are back to square one. 1-1 to piece for both these 2 teams.
I got to admit, it sort of feels like that a lot of these goals that are being scored by Power seem to be a little bit more clear and concise, where Ground Zero is all carrying the hype, right?
Yeah.
You know, they seem to be way more flashy, way more electric, I guess, which kind of goes against the Power line, I suppose, but irrespective, both teams very much into their own at this point in time. As it does center up once more, Baz only misses the mark. Fiver has to go backpack and be able to get the boost.
And once again, you can see that there was potential for a center pass here, but Fiver's going to try some solo heroics. A nice little dribble there. Wasn't able to get past the final line of defense that was Fever, who's now on the offensive. Torsos wants to try and bump that ball in to see if he can get his buddy a goal. But counter-offensive here from Kaka, and shot on, goes in, 1 bounce. And Ground Zero, once again, they're so good at these counter-attacks here, Conky. It feels like every single time that ball gets into the offensive half and they've only got 1 person to beat, they're going to beat them 9 times out of 10. These guys really are riding on the back of a lot of these counter-offensives.
That's right, carried it forward all the way. Then the second it got bumped back, already they were back in the zone. So Ground Zero take the lead in this opening minute. A very, very quick demo as well. So that's going to put a little bit of extra pressure on.
So you can see Baz did a really good job there after the demo on his teammate to just try and hold up the ball, to try and wait those extra couple of seconds till his teammate came back. Kaka once again, another shot on goal, but Fever was able to get it off the backboard, and Power want to try and answer back quickly. So if the clock starts to run down, we saw what happened in the previous game, Conky. As soon as that clock starts to run down and this lead starts to get bigger, it's very hard to come back.
Just a pinch there, but it's a demo instead. Fiver trying to carry this one forward. Baz, though, does push it back into position. Tries to center it up, does go a little bit further, but it's Torsos to get the grab.
Broken some ankles here. It's only really Fiver that's left available. Now Baz finally gets back, is able to clear this ball through the corner. Fever once again wants to try and set it up for the middle. The last remaining member, Torsos, is not there to collect on that slow ball in towards the front face of the goal, but Banana Head goes up into the air, gets met by the Ground Zero defense though. This ball starting to build the pressure up against Ground Zero. As long as this ball is still in the offensive half, this is exactly where Power needed to be, because eventually the ball will go their way. Nice little bit of defense there from Banana Head once again, and Kaka goes on the offensive, passes it out to his boy Baz off the backboard. Torsos clears once more for Power.
Quick demo as well, again applying the additional pressure to Power, but now as that ball does go forward, they can just buy their time, hold on for a little longer. Power have done such a great job of defending. Fiverr gets it back, but great defense again from Fever. He's going to be able to center it up, but Baz goes high and dry, puts the ball back into the corner. Kaka looking to grab it, but Torsos will set it away.
Yeah, wanted to try and get that 50-50 going his way there was Kaka. Now the ball is back in their defensive half, and they have to try and play a little bit more clean. They definitely are reminiscent of Game No. 1 here for Ground Zero. They're doing a really, really good job of just keeping the pressure on, keeping the ball live as long as possible. Really just trying to keep that Power squad from scoring these very highly coordinated goals. Trying to make sure that they can't have all three members indirectly in front of that goal.
Absolutely. Team synergy is looking very, very good for Power. So it's on to the individual heroics of Ground Zero. It's going to be Kaka again! Talking about individual heroics, Luke. He gets it done right down the guts of it. And it was a relatively clean run. You know, we see the members of Power really trying to kind of position accordingly, but Fever can't quite hit the mark. And that's Ground Zero leading the charge 3-1.
Yeah, Fever just wasn't far enough back to really be able to get that read. He tried his best to be able to get up there, but just wasn't close enough to be able to stop that goal. And Kaka gets a free run towards the goal. He's going to hit that in. Now Fiverr. Boy, if this goes out to a 4-1 lead for Ground Zero, you definitely be backing them in to try and win this game number 3.
Absolutely, and they want it, they need it. You know, they took the opening game here, so to be able to continue that tear and really sort of boot the momentum forward, trying to get vengeance. Obviously in the traditional season, they did manage to lead out against Ground Zero a little bit, but rather Ground Zero took the charge. Power only coming second one time, and it was to this roster. But again, a response from Fever means that it does get a little bit close for comfort again.
It was definitely a nice little touch there from Fever. Just had the right angle, was in there at the right place, right time, and very hard to try and defend those balls that are going 100 plus Ks an hour. Very hard to get your car in line for that. Now Banana Head sets the ball up into the air. Torsos tries to convert on it, but Fiverr's able to at least get the ball off the backboard. But there's a lot of Power members here at Banana Head.
Oh my God!
They will close the distance. It is 3-1. We already were talking about the fact that if it goes to 4-1, you're probably expecting Ground Zero to be able to sit here and play the defensive game. But Power says no thank you. Scores 2 goals in quick succession within a minute of each other. And now we're looking at 3-3, and Ground Zero starting to sweat.
Give them an inch and they'll take a mile. Apparently this Power roster really, really comfortable. And look at Torsos already trying to center it up. Fiverr having to try and defend with absolutely everything here, but Kaka will be able to take it forward. Can he drop it down? No, not quite. Baz, though, centers it up, but will it go forward? No. Torsos, Fever, getting it done again. This is so, so scary for this Ground Zero side. If Power get moving, if they take the second game, their backs will be up against the wall.
Yeah, it really does feel like this third game is going to be pivotal for a lot of these two teams. It is a full best of 7, so it's not like backs against the wall completely just yet, but getting off to a nice little start for either one of these two teams is going to set them up for the rest of this series. And now the question is, for Ground Zero and Power, do they want to play for overtime, or do they want to try and seal it here? All it takes is a small little mistake, and that might be it. Banana Head saves off the back, but Kaka capitalizes. Walks in, sees a free goal, and sets them up with a 1-goal lead with less than 30 seconds left to go.
How good is this guy? He has been absolutely everywhere, right? You know, taking that control, letting it sort of be repositioned by the team, and then ultimately sending it in himself. But again, you know, Power, they scored those 2 very, very consistently quick goals, so pressure's not off yet for Ground Zero.
Definitely not. You still have to try and control this ball for 20 seconds. Try and keep the Power boys away from your goal, but Fever's got a shot on off the backboard though. They're able to clear it out. Kaka and Baz are able to send this ball into the half of Power, and now they're the ones that have to be on the defensive. They've got 5 seconds to try and make this miraculous evener, but they won't be able to get it. Banana Head goes off the backboard. Baz is there in time. 1 second. They need to hit the ground. They get it. Power with no time left on the clock. The ball doesn't hit the ground. Banana Head off the backboard sets it up for his boy Torsos to even it up. And we are going to overtime here in game number 3, Conky.
How is this happening?
I don't know.
Opening series, chaos ensuing already. Banana Head setting it up for success. Dressed for it as well. And straight out of that in this overtime, already into the forward 50 of Power. Pressure's off, though, for just a second as it does center up. The demo, though, it's going to make it a little bit awkward for a second. Torsos has the middle position. Only a 2, but they get it. No! It's Baz holding on for dear life here.
Yeah, the 50-50s on those defensive players. Very, very scary when the ball just starts to bounce around. Don't really know where it's going to go. So Kaka tries his best with the boost that he has. Try and clear this ball out, but getting stuck in the corner in their defensive half. It's very hard for Ground Zero to clear this ball out and go on the offensive themselves. We can see Power just setting up for a few of these passes. Torsos back to Fever. Fever now into Banana Head. Shots on goal. There's no defenders.
Oh my God!
And Power, off a very big comeback, will be able to close out game number 3 here. Conky go up 2-1 in the series. And they've got a whole lot of confidence after that one for sure. Rocket League, very, very confidence-based when it comes to the esport. And oh boy, these Power guys are oozing with it right now.
Now, if you guys know me, I don't really cast this game that often, but I'm treated with this.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy that we rock up to the JBL Quantum Grand Slam and we get treated with some of the best Rocket League there is to offer in ANZ, and these guys are absolute freaks at it.
Oh, man. It's a whole different beast. As I was sort of saying in the pre-show, right? You know, as we're discussing, as we move on in, at its purest form, it is cars and a soccer ball.
Yep.
But just the pinches and how close these moments do occur, right? To get that goal, to tie it up in overtime, to with a second left or no seconds left. I think it was 0 time as it got there.
Yeah.
And then to have Banana Head, line this up again just to continue it on. It's a mixture of that defense and the offense at the same time to, really sort of put that solo prowess. But, the rest of the Power, obviously they've been looking very, very good. But the thing I'm loving is just how little time Banana Head has spent with this roster, and he's already slotting in so well.
It really does feel like, as long as you've got your communication systems down here, these players that have such insane mechanical skill, you give them that little bit of extra space and they will be able to provide the goods for you. And that's exactly what this Power roster are doing right now. You can see a whole lot of smack talk across the stage. Torsos really just trying to get in the minds of Ground Zero here. And you thought after that goal with 20 seconds left to go that Ground Zero are going to be able to clinch out this game number 3. You see 1 second bounces off the ground. Torsos is able to even it up with a 4-4 scoreline. Jima is absolutely sweating bullets behind the boys there. But as soon as they get in the overtime, Power switch on and they get it done off the back of a Banana Head goal and they finish out game number 3. You can see how amped these guys are. They're so excited to really just be able to win a game like that. And the thing is now, mentally for Ground Zero, that's got to really hurt them. And going into Power's side, they're going to be feeling really good.
I just keep looking at Jimmer's forearms. I want to ask about his gym routine.
We are back.
Game 4. As you mentioned, right, a lot of pressure starts to become here. Are these teams Game 7 players, or is it going to be a closeout for Power in the next 2?
Really have to try and pull together as a squad for Ground Zero. They've got a lot of energy on that side of the stage. You really need to start drawing on it now. That's a nice little pinch back in there. That could have potentially been an own goal. A good bump coming in from Power. But now with the counter-offensive once again from Ground Zero. Power get back. They defend it nice and well. Banana Head will send that back off the backboard. But Baz, almost available there, had no boost to try and send that one home.
Yeah, Fever straight out of the corner, able to get that defense. And there's a demo on the way up as well. Fever looking to center it back in, but Kaka comes back into the fray quickly. Torsos centers it up, but they are there. Fiber, Kaka, they're going to be able to get it straight out of there. Banana Head does just narrowly miss the mark, but as it goes back towards the center once more, Baz trying to bring it across, gets the quick reset, sends it back in again. Torsos is there to defend.
Now another offensive comes in from Ground Zero. They're really putting a lot of pressure here onto the Power squad. How much can they withhold before this first goal goes in? Baz goes back in off the corner. It's not all too many Ground Zero attackers to really be able to capitalize on that ball. They have to be careful of their own defensive half as well, because you don't want to lose a goal to this Power counter-attack. The ball has really stunted itself in the midfield here. Now maybe Baz can capitalize on that. Goes off the wall, center pass once again, and Power just hold on.
Narrowly out of the sky, Kaka, again, looking to get it forward. Torsos there to just carry it back forward. Banana Head as well, sending it into the midst of Fiber. But there's no one there. This defense from Power has just been an absolute menace these last couple of seconds.
They've really just been the iron wall for Power right now, but you keep attacking this goal square, it's going to be, at some point, you will get the fruits of your labor. Once again, the ball goes back in towards the side of Ground Zero. They want to try and play this from their defensive half. But Power, they go for this 3-man offensive once again, trying to get these passes strung together, try and get themselves in position to try and score some of these goals.
So much action, so little result at this point in time. Banana Head once again trying to center it up. Does send it forward.
He broke his ankles.
No! The bump away. Can't quite work it out. But Torsos will be able to recollect and also send it back forward. He does fake it out a little bit. Kaka in his head, mind games right now. Fever sends it back into position, but no reward again. Fiber trying to do what he can to get it back into its position. But Torsos is there. And that was clean and mean coming out from Power.
There was a whole lot of these little 1v1 battles that were happening between a lot of these players, right? You saw Banana Head try to get the dribble over the top of some of the defenders coming in from ground zero, and then eventuated in that nifty little touch coming in from Torsos. It was a shot on goal, and he just puts the cherry on top with that little back bump. And now Power, after most of this match, over halfway, Conky, they're finally able to get the first goal here in ground zero. They spent a lot of their time just defending in that previous engagement, and now they need to try and get themselves one back. Before we start talking about this game being even, Fever goes up in over off the top of the roof. Baz is able to defend that for now, but once again, ball in the defensive half for ground zero. They want to try and get on this counter-attack themselves. Banana Head gets a couple of touches off the roof though, but now the ball is squeezed out. It's all about Baz trying to get this extra touch, but Banana Head shoves him out of the way, says no thank you, and Power will get this ball back.
Doesn't quite work out again. It does go back though from Baz as Fiber looking to get up, centering the ball once more, but he still has to try and collect it out of the air here. Kaka forward it. Banana Head chasing once more. He has had so much control of the ball inside the entirety of this best of 7 already. But again, it's just these 1v1 duels, as you keep mentioning, Luke. They can't really quite find the control, but now it's on the top. It's going to be Baz getting demoed. Kaka tries to send it back into his forward position, but again, Power are everywhere.
Yeah, you can see Fiber really just wanting to try and hold up that ball. He gets the stop of it on top of his car, but Baz getting demoed there is very hard for them to keep that offensive going. Oh, Kaka misses the ball here. It's an awkward one. It's just bouncing up in the air. Nobody really had the extra bit of power to try and send that one out. And eventually, Power will start to recollect this ball in the corner. They want to try and get this centering pass going. Torsos goes up off the corner. Nice little touch there from Fever, but nobody gets there in time. But Banana Head, with the goal being completely open, knows he just has to get the touch, and Power go up to a 2-0 lead.
Right place, right time. Yeah. He has been there time and time again. My MVP so far in this series. He has just been absolutely all over it. Can't make any mistakes, it would sort of seem. But again, you know, ground zero is still well and truly more than in this. 50 seconds.
Yeah, you can see the scoreboard pressure really determining how ground zero are playing this game, right? They aren't able to really get all those 3 members up towards that goal and try and put the pressure back on a Power, whereas they are playing with absolute freedom. They're just sending all 3 members at the goal at all times. They're just playing as this pack and just working together, really being able to string a lot of these passes together. But finally, ground zero, they're in the offensive half, but ball gets pitched out, and now it's going to be a counter-offensive once again here for Power. Banana Head waiting in the midfield, seeing if he can try and get the touch off the roof. He gets it, sends it back towards goal. Fiber needs to get this touch. He does, sends it off the backboard. Another beautiful touch as well, so Fiber saves it for ground zero.
Still keeping it in play. Kaka trying to send it forward. Fever is there, but does manage to just get it away from the backboard. There's going to be no rebound there, but it doesn't quite make it. Oh my God. Baz trying to make it work here. It centers up, and again, Fiber looks to make it work, and he will. 3 seconds. Woo. 3 seconds. This is going to have to be the hottest kickoff of 2023 if they want to bring this one to overtime.
Yeah, some beautiful passing there from ground zero. Really just being able to set themselves up, and then Fiber being able to put the finishing touches on it. But as you said, 3 seconds to get this ball touched. You are Power. You are spiking this ball directly to the ground, but they didn't get the touch there for ground zero, so this is going to have to be a pretty insane effort if they want to try and get this game even. Send it towards overtime, but with the ball touching the ground, that will be Power going 3-1 up in the series here, Conky. They are now on series points.
That's exactly right. You know, we talk about backs up against the wall. That is what they're certainly feeling now, because as we remember, last year, the opening series, it was a 4-3. And I do remember, Power actually came out looking pretty hot. Ground Zero managing to sort of drag it back, really making it look like they were going to have Power sweat a little bit. I do think Power got a little bit more of a sweep towards the end from my memory, but ultimately, you know, Ground Zero are just such an exciting team. You never want to be able to count them out in any position. So, you know, I still personally think this one's going to go all the way to 7, but, you know, Power, again, they seem to be way more chilled with all of this. They seem to be very much in control. They seem to be very confident with their plays. And, yeah, playing with the crowd as well. Yeah,
definitely. They're really starting to get themselves into this series, right? It felt like game number 1, they were a little bit slow out of the block. I mean, they got themselves a 12-second goal, but you know what I mean? Like,
they were slow from there.
In the game itself, it felt like they were a little bit slow off the blocks, and now they've really started to come together as a squad. And I think that overtime comeback, that 1-second goal into the victory from the overtime really has given these guys a whole lot of confidence going in the rest of the series. You can kind of just feed off of that energy as a team when it comes to a series like this, especially now with series point.
Well, the thing with Ground Zero, right, is that obviously the game being such a mental position, when you have the high highs, you also experience the low lows, right? So having that clinch to take it to overtime, to put the pressure onto Ground Zero on what felt like a one game, all of a sudden you're playing into overtime in the wrong mindset. You're already feeling that frustration. It's like, geez, guys, we should have closed that out. But, you know, you can't let that happen. It's another kickoff. It's game number 5. Is Power going to close at 4-1 or Ground Zero get vengeance?
It's a real question. If you're a Ground Zero fan, you might need to start making some noise so these boys can really get into this game number 5 here. Fever, though, on the Power side, really wants to put the pressure back on the Ground Zero. We've seen that over the last couple of maps. Power really just starting to tighten those screws up against Ground Zero defense. Another demo once again onto the Ground Zero members. It was Baz. Finally gets back, and Kaka's able to hold this ball long enough for his teammate to get that respawn going in. Banana Head wants to go on this defensive, goes up off the roof, loses control of his car. Baz, slight little touch though, does slow the ball down completely. And again, we're seeing it getting stuck in this left-hand corner for the side of Ground Zero, but they finally get the counter-offensive. Fiber with the ankle break and the final solo goal as well. Kaka's really been able to help out his buddy there, but the ankle break beats Fiber. He beats out Banana Head, and with Kaka sitting there with the demo, it means that this goal was completely open for Fiber.
Oh, it was actually Torsos that got the demo. I thought it was Kaka, but ultimately that ended up working out. The focus was set elsewhere, and that allows Ground Zero the space to find that goal. So nicely done. Ground Zero again showing that they're not letting the mental get away from them. Kaka already centering it up again. Just narrowly misses over the head. It is going to be Fiber to be able to send it back towards the middle though. Torsos is going to go over his head, but Banana Head is there to save the day once more. Kaka looking for it again. He's not able to quite find it. Sits into the corner. Fiber has to pick up the pieces. But Fever trying to get that into position.
Yeah, Power really just keeping this ball stuck in the corner and just hoping that at some point they can get the pitch going. But this is again the counter-offensive. Kaka tries to get the bounce off of the ground, but the drop goal doesn't work out for him. Baz now will go on the offensive, try and force out Torsos to try and make a decision. Banana Head sends it up into the air. Fever wants to get the touch, doesn't get it, leaves it for his teammate. Torsos bounces up over Baz, and Banana Head will clean up the dregs. And once again, we are back to even Stevens. And you can just see that Power, every single time they have this 3-man offensive, Torsos goes in. Maybe he doesn't get the right pinch. They get a pass out towards Fever, and then Banana Head's able to be that final member in to really clean it all up.
Banana Head's like that guy that rocks up to the airport and it's like, oh, you've actually been upgraded to business class. He's just always there, right? Every single time. He's just been there, consistently knows where to play the line.
Just gets himself in the right place at the right time, and Power, that's exactly what you want out of one of your teammates. So we're back at 1-1 here. Ground Zero had a beautiful individual effort from Fiber to get their first goal, whereas Power much more team-orientated. Speaking of the man of the hour, Banana Head gets it back off the corner as well. Nice pass towards Kaka. A decent amount of boost to try and make this past Torsos, but he gets a nice little defensive stop. And Fiber's going to have to try and send this ball rocking. Passes back over to Kaka, sends it towards the goal. There's plenty of defenses there from Power. It's not going to go in straight away.
Shadow defense again from Banana Head has just been absolutely fantastic. Eyes on the prize every single step of the way. But Fiber looking to do the exact same thing. Banana Head does center it up. Baz will be there to collect. But again, just keeping an eye on it, trying to get this back in towards the center. They want a goal-scoring opportunity. Power trying to take this lead back. There's a demo, a second demo. This is really looking a little bit scary now, 2-2, but there is the respawn coming in very, very quickly.
Yeah, I think if Kaka was not getting demoed there, that definitely could have been a scoring opportunity for Ground Zero, but Banana Head will dribble all the way back down to their offensive half, and Fiber let's try to get something done here. Gets the flip reset, gets past Fever, wants to get past Torsos. Ball wasn't on goal, so there was no real pressure there for Power. And we'll just continue to work this ball around. Shot on goal here from Banana Head. Fiber is able to at least clean that one up, and now Kaka goes on the counter-offensive once again, beats out Torsos, but Banana Head, he's there again, Conky.
Keeps saying his name, Banana on his head. Kaka trying to grab it back. Fiber will be able to send it forward as well, so there is a little bit of team dynamic here, but Fever getting in the way. Once more, Banana Head will be able to center it up. It's a great position to be in if Baz can't collect, but he will get the bounce off the backboard. Kaka now looking to bring it forward for the team again. Fiber is there, there's a chance. But Torsos, bit of a menace here.
Yeah, Kaka wasn't able to get past Torsos there. He put himself in a beautiful position, just make sure that he had to go underneath him. Went able to get the pass there to Fiber, and once again off the backboard, Baz doesn't have the speed, so he's just going to hold this ball up into the air, see if he can make some defensive decisions from Power. They hold on to this ball once again here, Conky. 1 minute 20 left to go. This next goal is going to be oh so crucial for either one of these two teams.
Means everything.
Oh no!
But as you say it, What's his name? Can you repeat it for me?
I think it's Banana Head.
I think so.
This is a unfortunate set of circumstances. Banana Head bounces off of Kaka, and it's just a glancing blow.
2 fruit, 5 veg.
Oh,
What a guy.
what a guy indeed. But a little lucky with that one, and Power, they can wipe the sweat off their brow for now because they are in the lead with 1 minute left to go. Ground Zero probably feeling a little hard done by with that one.
Man, really got to pick up now if you're Ground Zero. 1 score to tie it up. 1 minute left to do it though. There's certainly plenty of opportunity. We've seen goals come left, right, and center. It is going to be Fever trying to pick it up. There will be a little bit of a stop-up. That's going to be Kaka going down. Fiber has to do it all, but Torsos, again, has been very consistent in this defense. But Banana Head looks to get the dribble, gets it over the top. Baz collects. We'll be able to at least chill out for a second.
Yeah, there was a lot of angles he needed to break that time around, and Power, once again, just putting the pressure back onto Ground Zero. They're going to make the passes work here in the midfield. Kaka gets bumped out, though. Another demo goes down as well. Looks like Power are at the disadvantage for now. Kaka sends the ball up into the air. They want to keep this pressure onto goal. They've only got 20 seconds to try and even this up. A little miss hit there from Fiber. He has to try and recollect here in the back, but it's Banana Head. Gets the bump off him, and Torsos will keep this ball in there.
The demo.
Nice little demo from Fiber. Kaka's here, ready to shoot. Doesn't get it towards him, and Baz wants to get the chip with 5 seconds left to go. This is all you need for Ground Zero. All their series is done. They need something here. They need anything. Fever wants to just fight this ball down. Baz will keep it alive, but it doesn't matter. Power will win the game and the series 4-1.
That does not reflect on the pressure of this game. A 4-1 scoreline does not feel like what we've just seen on our screens right now down here at the PAX Arena 2023. What an opening here for the Quantum Grand Slam. No surprises. JBL puts on a great event every single time, right?
Yeah,
and so do these teams.
These guys really putting it up here in that first series. Potential for us to have a grand final preview as well. Power really be able to pull it back from the brink in a couple of those matches, man. Like that overtime win, that comeback from 2 goals down to pull it back in the last final couple of seconds for Power and then get it done in the overtime. Just goes to show that these guys are here to win it. They're cool, calm, collected, and they know that now, getting into that grand final, they're only 1 best of 7 away from doing it again.
Yeah, look, I'm feeling a little bit with Ground Zero, obviously, playing with Baz at their sub. But look, Baz, by all means, was having a fantastic game, right?
Yeah.
Ground Zero, as we sort of mentioned, they came out really hot. They came out super confident. They were looking very comfortable in it. But again, it was Power who was just consistently getting it done. They always felt like they were kind of on top of it. And any goal that Ground Zero was throwing through just slipped through the cracks narrowly.
Yeah.
But then the second they got it, they brought back the composure, and Power again took control.
Yeah, it really does feel like that Power, as this 3-man crew are really just being able to get those final little bits of the puzzle working for them, right? And Ground Zero, they fought really hard. They had a lot of good stints of defensive efforts, but with the amount of pressure that Power are putting on them constantly, all 3 of them are being in their faces. They're bumping them, they're demoing them, they're scoring goals, they're being in their face, they're yelling across the stage as well, Conky. It is very hard to constantly have to deal with all of this pressure that Power are putting towards you and still consistently be able to score goals yourself. So as soon as they start going down to these goal deficits, it is very hard for them to try and pull that one back with the all-out aggression that Power are putting towards them.
It's a very important thing, a matchup like this, though. Obviously, again, it's just that opener. Now they've got to deal with the bracket reset for Ground Zero potentially if they make it there. Power obviously straight into that grand final. But we talk about local competition as well, of a thing being, if you can seed yourself so far above the second best, that gives you that confidence to compete globally, right? If you're kind of, on the even sort of run, obviously it gives you a really good opportunity to kind of fight up against some of the better teams and bring the region up as well. But if you're locally decimating, you're going overseas with a lot of confidence behind yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And I think especially with a game like Rocket League as well, when you see some of those individual efforts, that all comes from confidence, right? It all comes from being able to consistently do this against other people and then being able to transfer that up towards the big stages. And I mean, the way that Power have been playing, these guys are looking extremely strong. And I mean, Ground Zero, the fact that it's a 4-1 scoreline, as you said, does them no justice at all. I think this definitely was a much closer series and the scoreline is going to show us. Now they have to fall into that lower bracket. They're going to be waiting for placeholders or Sorani to be able to come in and play against them in that best of 7. But the thing is now for Ground Zero, if they want to try and take this trophy, it's 2 best of 7s they have to beat Power into, and that's going to be very hard for them to do at the end of today. Let's go and have a look at our bracket here with our upper finals done and dusted. Power are going to be moving forward into that grand final. They're going to be awaiting one of these 3 remaining teams, and with that lower semi-final awaiting us in just a few moments here, Conky. Placeholders and Sorani, after seeing that, going up against Power and Ground Zero, you're probably like, okay, we need to play our best Rocket League today.
Definitely. And I think, look, it's a cool capture anyway, like with this upper final. Power and Ground Zero, as we mentioned, they went through 7-0 in the group stage, right? So that's a very, very big result from both of them. Being seeded separately, able to show that there is really no other competition for them at this point in time. But the exact same thing could be said just below with Placeholders and Sarani. They also had both very, very good results leading into this event, right? So it's not like they kind of a long way behind the pack, effectively. The only games they probably lost were to Power or Ground Zero. So I think that's a fantastic result for them. I think it should be a close one as well in this next matchup. But yeah, that just leads up for a really, really good run for the rest of the competition.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the beauty of the bracket that we have, right, is the fact that we've got Power and Ground Zero, who are our competitors from last year as well. They're extremely tightly matched, and now we're going into this all final. They're both extremely tightly matched, and then we're going to be able to see the difference between Ground Zero and one of these two teams in the lower bracket and see whether or not they're going to be as tightly matched as we've had throughout the entirety of today. But let's go jump into the stage with Jordan and some of our winners.
One of our winners, we've got Banana Head here, obviously, of Team Power. Now, you are the quote-unquote new member of the team. You weren't here last year with Team Power, but what's it been like jumping on the stage? You feeling confident? You feeling cool, calm, and collected?
Yeah, no, it's just like, obviously, it's a new home for me, but it's been really fun. I can see, like, we get along really well, like, Big T, Fever, me, and Jim are, like, shout out to them. They're just, like, good fun to be around.
Now, as far as I understand, I'm not obviously a Rocket League expert, but from the conversations that I've had, you guys are coming in as the favourites. Do you reckon that's a fair statement? How are you feeling about that as far as, you know, going up against Ground Zero, maybe your strongest competition?
I don't like to, like, toot our own horn, but I'd say, yeah, we're the favourites. We're three really strong players, and I think we could make a lot of things work well.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, getting that first goal, 12 seconds straight under the pump there. It's, you know, got to be a good feeling getting underway quite early on in the piece. But you did go down in one of those games. Was there any conversation in between those games as to maybe to change anything up? Any sort of conversations like that?
The conversation was to fix Fever's mic and Torse's mic, because we just kept, like, disconnecting. But, like, when we're down, we'll just, like, you know, play our game, we'll come back.
All right, so once that got sorted, you guys were all cool, ready to go. So talk to me about the grand final. Obviously, I've heard the casters saying this might be a grand final preview. We know that Team Power did manage to pick up the dub last year at the JBL Quantum Grand Slam. Are you expecting to go back-to-back? Are you expecting this to basically be a grand final preview? It'll be yourselves and Ground Zero in the grand final?
Yeah, I'm hoping it's a preview, you know, like, I'm hoping I get to verse Fiber over here. I hope to get a rematch against him and the boys, but I don't know. I'm expecting them, but whoever comes out, comes out.
Awesome, and I'm sure you'll be feeling pretty confident about that grand final either way. Thank you very much for the interview. We'll jump to a break. Guys, don't go too far away. Back with more Rocket League in just a sec.